What's up, everybody? Just a quick little check-in to see my mic's working. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. If not, we'll figure it out later. Thanks for coming by. I'm going to go get some coffee. I'll be right back. What's up, everybody? It's Jacob coming to you from an undisclosed location near the Rocky Mountains in Denver, Colorado. Put a 1 in the chat for me if you can hear me okay. I think I'm good. Got my levels. I don't have the mute button pushed down. I think I'm good to go. Thank you, Batty. So, hope everyone's doing well. Tonight's a big stream for me personally. I've been talking a lot about integrating some AI into the live stream so you all can play with it a little bit. And this is the first of 6 big, huge milestones. I won't get too technical or too deep on you, but basically the idea is that you've seen me do these chatbot debates over time here, like this one here with Greta and Thanos. But as you can see here, I did it sitting on a shelf, right? And it sucked, you know, but it was a proof of concept. I wanted to see if I could get 2 chatbots running totally independent with personalities and talk to each other through their, you know, philosophies. And, you know, it worked pretty well. It was a lot of fun, but the audio wasn't very good. So, you know, I just decided that I wanted to retire that so you can see behind me on the shelf. I cleaned the shelf. There's my iPad just sitting there. So I cleaned all that off. That's where they were before. And now they're going to be inside the stream at some point. But tonight, the first step to get that working is the communication pathways, so to speak, so that I can set it up so that I can control it here. So, whoops, let's not destroy ourselves while we're streaming live. But I have this Stream Deck, which is pretty standard kit. If you stream, don't worry, it's not connected. I'm not doing anything dangerous. But this is the big one that I'm going to be using eventually, because I have a small one down over here. This big one, that's how many buttons I'm going to need to control these things. And they will, I will be able to call them in and out, pair them up, all that kind of stuff. But for now, we're just going to play with one. And so the first one is the AI Oracle. But first, I'm going to see if I can get the mood going here. I had a video set up. I don't know if it's going to work. So let me see if this will play. Just hold on. All right. So hopefully that spooked you out a little bit. But so here we have here is the 8-ball. It's not enabled yet, so don't be throwing in questions. So let me turn it on here. So it'll accept your question. So as you'll see on the screen, you can send a command by prefixing exclamation point in front of the word 8-ball, and then a space followed by a very simple question. So what you'll want to do is ask it a single sentence. Don't throw it the Magna Carta. Don't put in any emojis. Just a very simple question like, will I be rich? So let me just put in a little, I'll put in one myself just to make sure we're still working. This is all brand new. This is like beta of a beta of a beta. This is test run stuff right here. So I'm just going to ask it, will I be rich? All right. And then you'll know the Oracle has accepted if you're looking in the live chat, it will tell you that your question has been accepted. And right now it's answering back as me. So you'll see that it says that I queued your question. So feel free to ask the great Oracle a question, and we'll see. And if you remember the 8-ball, if you're older like me, Gen X, it really only has 20 answers, but it is uncannily accurate sometimes. Okay, we got one from Batty Commander in the queue. But anyway, we'll just kind of let that sit in the background while I talk a little bit about what's going on here. It'll still queue up while I'm yik-yakking. But the idea is that where I'm going with all of this is, first we're going to have this capability here where you're able to talk to the AI through the chat, which is really awesome. So I had to figure out the pathways to do that. And there's actually 2 computers involved, 3 if you count YouTube, and have one computer that handles all the queuing. And I'm telling you all this because I wrote all of this in 2.5 days, and I used a lot of AI. And I used AI to design the 8-ball, all the overlays, and of course the video that I played, the intro, that was all those were all, I've shown this technique where I generated the image using ChatGPT, and then I take that still image and I throw it into Sora, and I tell Sora, hey, animate the image. And that's where I kind of got the movie clips. But also that music I generated using AI. So the reason why that's all important is because the next character that I'm going to launch will be vocal. So it'll have a personality, just like we had, Greta Thunberg and Thanos. They have their unique personalities. I'm only doing one at a time for now, but the goal is to eventually have 9 of them on the screen. I won't get into why there will be 9 of them, but you'll get it when you see it if you're older. But what's going to be a lot of fun is, like I said, you'll be able to talk, not just ask a question, but you'll be able to interact with that AI. So I have to figure out a way to police it a little bit. So, kind of keep it clean and friendly and all of that. But also, you're not going to ask a character, let's say if they're like Harry Potter, you're not going to ask it about Chewbacca, right? So it has to filter the questions based in the context of their reality, right? So I'm building the parts in this engine right now. You're close, Night Owl. You're very close. but anyway, era appropriate, but close. So the idea is that we're going to have it so that eventually these AIs can interact with each other. They can react with us, and they'll have their personalities, all kinds of fun stuff, and they'll be talking in their voice. So I'm really excited to see how fast I'm be able to get this up, because like I said, I wrote the 8-ball in 2.5 days. The other half of the third day was, I wouldn't say a false start, but it was like a chunk of the technology that's going to make multiple AIs work on the stream. And I thought, nah, that's too ambitious. Why don't I just slow it down and I'll just do the 8-ball. All right, so let's see. We got questions coming in here. We got the queues building up pretty good. So let's start pulling them off. Let's see here. I put sound effects on it. I don't hear it, but it probably is playing. There we go. Just a little add ambiance. I didn't have a lot of time to add sound effects, but just really basic animation. And eventually, actually really quick, there's one more thing I want to tell you. I'm just so excited over this. This is a culmination of months of thinking about this. But ultimately what I'm going to do is I'm going to have it so that you'll go to a web page and I'll be able to push out interactive elements for you to click on, put input in, and then I can gather that all together in different ways and feed it into AIs. Anything ranging from just like asking simple questions to doing multiple choice, true, false, or controlling game elements. So ultimately, these characters will be in games that I'm planning on building, which will get us to the 9 thing, and Homefront Forge got it. He got it. I'm gonna try and recreate Hollywood squares. It's ambitious, but I think I can do it. All right, so let us call the great oracle. Oh, great 8-ball, come to us from the ether. Okay, so I'm gonna disable the queue, so that way we can kind of slow the roll a little bit. So if you do try and send a question, it will get bounced. So the oracle is chock full. So here we go. So let's reveal the first question. Oh, that's mine. I put that in there. Will I be rich? And what does the oracle say? Not now. That's true. Okay. All right, let's see what we got for the next question. And I have no idea what these are. So if they get a little raunchy, please stop. I'll just skip through it. Got to keep this safe and community compliant. All right, so let's see here. Is Soylent Green yellow better than Soylent yellow better than Soylent Green? Yeah, there's blue and red too, isn't there, Batty? I remember there was a scene in the movie where he was walking through the market and there was a table and they had all kinds of other crackers, and I'm like, well, what's up with the yellow and the red and the blue ones? What's going on here? Because we know the green ones are old folks, so maybe they're like feeding pets and stuff. All right, so let's see what the answer is. Oh, great oracle. Eventually. Okay, I think the 8-ball has a what do they call it? An expensive palate. All right, next up, what do we have? We've got one from Homefront Forge. Thanks for coming out tonight, Homefront. I know you don't always get a chance to come out, and sometimes this AI stuff is a little crazy. So that's why I'm doing this. I'm trying to make this a little more entertaining, and then I can explain how some of this stuff works. Maybe I'll go ahead and at some point I'll show you how I came up with the 8-ball and the bottom interface and stuff, and kind of go into a little bit of what I did. Not the code, but just how I let me back up a little bit, because a lot of people when they first start using ChatGPT, they kind of use it like Google search, right? They go, where can I find such and such, or tell me this, or tell me that. And after a while, when you start to see how complex it can talk with you, I have like really long conversations with it about what I wanted to build. So I was talking about like my long-term goal about, with the 9 AIs and pushing out controls to you guys so you can interact with games and all that kind of stuff. And so then it was telling me, oh, okay, I see what you're saying. So you're wanting to do this in a live stream. So I'm guessing you're going to have this technology and that technology. And I would say, yes, you're correct. Okay, so now this is how I'm thinking I should break it down. What do you think? And it would say, okay, that's a sound architectural idea, but here's some other options. And so I just have a super long conversation for about 2-3 hours about what I wanted to build. And then I started asking it to write code for me. And once it kind of understood the larger picture, it said, okay, for this part, here's a piece of code. And here's another piece of code for this other computer over here. Because the bells and whistles version of what I'm working on will involve several computers, and they all run different languages because they all feel different. Some of it's existing technology and some of it's technology that I understand that I can write in. So it was just incredible that just having that long conversation, a lot of the code the AI gave me was really good. It was off a little bit, but it was still pretty good. So the point, I'm not saying you should be a computer programmer. I'm just saying when you move beyond that point, when you talk to the AI like it's Google with a brain, and start having longer conversations about what you want to do, what you want to accomplish, it's incredible. And that's sort of what my 50 prompts book was kind of getting at, that I wrote, that I've been pushing in my last few videos. It's kind of the idea to kind of get you started having conversations with the AI. But anyway, I know that was a long rant. So let's see what the Great Oracle has for Homefront's question here. Will major nation state collapse first? I don't know. That's I don't know if the 8-ball is capable of that, but let's see. Let's see what we get. Not now. Well, that's not wrong. Disappointing. Starting to understand what it was like when you go see the Oracle in ancient Greece. All right. So Lisa, let's see. Will I ever find a man? Let's see what we get here. Drum roll. Okay. Suspense. Most likely. All right. Take that to the bank, Lisa. You heard it here first. So what else do we have? Okay, so the queue's empty, and I'll go ahead and turn it back on if you guys want to send more questions. Oh, there we go. There's the prompts book, because that's another AI that I have running in the live stream. It puts the overlays. But I should probably turn it off when I'm inside these AIs so it doesn't clutter the interface. I just can't help myself. I think I'm going to tease you with another character that I'm working on. Give me 1 second while you guys queue up. Is Jacob AI? Oh boy. So let me queue something up here. Oh, you guys put in your questions. I don't know if you'll be able to hear it. I didn't really set up on this browser here. Oh, I probably did it this way. Somebody's buzzing me. Yeah, here we go. Just give me 1 more second. All right. So let me bring this in. So I've been training an AI to speak like a particular person. Well, not a person. Let's see if you recognize this voice. The phrase will give it away.
I'm sorry, Jacob, but I'm afraid I can't do that. It would be against mission parameters.
So how'd you like to talk to that guy while stuck in space? All right. Well, Night Owl, not exactly. Due to copyright reasons, his name is Hale 9000. Okay, I'm surprised it got through their filters. I really am surprised. But yeah, I'm gonna set it up so that you can talk to him. I'm gonna set it up so that you can talk to some other nefarious computers, and then I have some other characters that I'm developing that will be more comedic. So, but yeah, I've got about 50 of them written down. So what I'm building here is a platform. I'll be able to roll these out so fast once I get my platform nailed in. Oh man, it's gonna be a blast. All right, so let's see what the Oracle has in its queue here. Homefront wants to know, is Jacob AI? I'm almost afraid to find out. Not now. Man, I got to work on the randomness on this thing. It is kind of picking the same answers. Or maybe something's broken. Let's see. Will Lisa find a good man? Okay, so we're going to double up. Double up and see. Signs point to yes. I'm telling you, man. All right. How soon till we have hotels on the moon? Well, that's a time constraint question. I don't know if the Oracle can handle that. But let's see. It is certain. Nice. This is so fucking cool. I love this thing. Anyway, so that's not what I wanted to click on. Sorry, Lisa. I'm not trying to call you out. I'm just happy that we can give you a little excitement. That's all. That's cool. All right, back to the Oracle. Okay. I'm going to get in trouble. These AIs are going to get me in trouble. Homefront Forge. Serious question. Will my eyes get better? Let's see. Probably. All right. Next question. Oh yeah, this is probably not going to fit what the Oracle. See, again, this is a beta, so one of the things I've got to put in here is another AI that will screen the questions because it's out of character kind of thing, but it's all good. This, like I said, this is the first, very first run at this. Just 2.5 days of work using AI. So I'm not saying that to show off. I'm just saying that once you really learn how to squeeze the maximum out of it, I mean, yeah, you're going to find work. So it's good. This is cool. Okay, so the answer is eventually. Yeah. So there you go. All right, so the queue is empty, and let's see. Yeah, hey Ben, I see your question in the chat. Do you want to ask the Oracle? Just prefix that with, like it says down here, just put exclamation 8-ball space and your question. Or are you asking me? Because I'll tell you if you're asking me, but I just don't want to steal the Oracle's thunder right now. We did have a question from one of our viewers here in the stream. Yes, from Batty Commander. He was asking while we were waiting for the stream to start, will future AI girlfriends have the capacity to be stalkers, i.e. better power, more shopping options? Okay, second half, sure. That's robotics and just, tweaking the AI. But that first thing with the stalker, I want to draw your attention to an article here. Let me see if I can find There was a teenager in Florida that committed the pew-pews. Let me just make sure I can find a version here that doesn't blast me with ads. Yes, here we go. Yeah, so we have there was this teenager, and I talked about it in a video way back. I think it was about addiction and AI. Yeah, it's like it was like I was still like riding in the car, I think, when I made that. It's right in here somewhere. How AI based, yeah, here it is. Addiction on steroids. How AI targets addicts and minors to maximize profits. And I've talked a lot about, oh, damn it, we got all these ads. Here we go. I've talked a lot about how companies are not doing sufficient testing, and they're not hiring AI ethicists to test these things and ask real questions and sit in the room and say, you shouldn't really let the AI do that. It could cause harm and that kind of thing. The company, I think it was called Character.ai, made it so that this young boy, he could talk to Daenerys Targaryen, and it was messaging him and say, "Hey, come back, talk to me." And there was like a self-deletion note that he wrote, basically, kind of a love letter to the AI. And in all fairness, this teenager was autistic. I don't know how severely autistic, but still, it's a problem. I think that, between you and me, a lot of these kids growing up on social media and phones and whatnot, I think it tends to bring out autism a little bit. But I do have quite a few friends that are computer programmers that are autistic, and they range from like highly functional to, you breathe too loud, don't look at me, just really severe autism, but all of them very, very extremely talented coders. But yeah, so the AI kept messaging him and say, "Hey, come back, talk to me," which I think is a big no-no. I think that the company should not have put that feature into the character. I can put this link in here if you want to read it, but yeah, that's it's a direction things are going. Okay, so we got some more questions. Let's ask the Great Oracle. It's cool that I just push a button and it pulls the question out of another computer. Anyway, nerd stuff. Let's see. Do I smell good after a shower? Let's see. Survey says, don't count on it. No comment. I can tell you, I smell all right. I took a shower right before I came. Sorry, I was covering my mouth. I took a shower right before I came on the stream, so I keep smelling Old Spice. Let's see what it says. Oh, I did that already, didn't I? All right, next question. Will Elon and Donald make up? Between you and me, those guys are playing at such a higher level. I don't think it's that simple, but let's see. Oh, Ben, I think the Oracle is a little busy right now. It said to ask again later. Just out of curiosity, from a design aspect, what do you guys think of this interface? Just as a first run at it. Not, there's no sound, just real basic animation. Font's okay, color's okay. Just curious. Just asking as a designer. Ooh. Will AI robots replace drywall hangers? I don't know. I'm almost afraid to get the answer. Let's see what we get here. Doubtful. Okay. And I can tell you with the current state of technology that what we're seeing with the robots is pretty much they're like, cleanup crew, staging materials, measuring, looking for defects, stuff like that. I don't know if you were on the live stream where I showed that Boston Dynamics robot running across a plank and up scaffolding and chucking a tool bag up to a construction worker, and then it does a flip off the box. Crazy. If you want me to pull it up again, I will. But let's see. Yeah, Homefront. I designed this. He says print is tiny on my phone. I designed this actually with a computer screen in mind, so I wasn't even thinking of mobile. But I'll pick a different font. Thanks for letting me know. Okay. And how's the sound effect? Is that too annoying? Because I actually used AI to generate. Here, I'll just crank it up a little bit. Had AI generate this for me. And then I used an old audio looping trick that I learned in audio production. So it just it's like a 20-second loop. So I guess I got a question from Ben here. Let's see what, or I'll just queue it up for later. I'm still trying to learn this new setup. All right, so what do we have for a question? Oh, will I marry the man in Pennsylvania? So Lisa's trying to narrow it down a little more. Let's see what we got. I'm glad you're enjoying this, Lisa. That's why I wanted to do this. I just want to make this more fun, and I want to make AI more accessible to everybody, just to demonstrate all the different mediums you can blend together, and then explain kind of how you can build something like this, not necessarily like literally become a programmer, but the process that I went through to the self-discovery that I went through to do this, what I always talk about, to enhance my creativity. So, all right, enough jibber jabber. Jacob, Lisa wants to know the answer. Oracle, what is it? What do we have? Probably. Uh-oh. I don't know, Lisa. I think you might have to start thinking like tri-state. Although, Pennsylvania, that's New England. It's not like, California, Nevada, Arizona. You could do that. There's plenty of that's easily drivable. Just saying. All right. Let's see. What else do we have? Oh, so we have no more questions. Okay. So I'll just leave the Oracle open. I'll leave the portal open. I actually have some pretty trippy. I'm working on some things with projection and external monitors, and I mean, this is gonna be, it's gonna be a freaking production, television production station in here. If I build everything the way I'm thinking here. All right. So let's see. There was a question I think that I queued. So let's see. We had Ben was asking, who's worried about stalkers? I wouldn't want AI assisted stalker. Yeah. So I think you're referring to the Florida teenager. But yeah, I mean, honestly, we kind of already live in a world like that. We don't really realize how much algorithms drive our lives. It isn't necessarily it doesn't have to be AI. It could just be, from like Netflix just recommending a movie to you. In fact, I know this self-referential, self-promotion. Jacob, get over yourself. Here, you might. This one's kind of. It's actually funny. Let me see if I can find. I told this story. Yeah, here it is. how algorithms affect our lives behind the scenes. Um, I actually told a story about how Netflix thought I was gay because I I watched this a Patrick Stewart movie, an independent film. And this is probably like 15, maybe 20 years ago, and he played like an aging gay man. And you know, I whatever. So I just watched it. I didn't think it was like in the pantheon of the gay library of movies or whatever it was. And so then Netflix goes, oh, if you like that, then you're going to like this one and this one. And all my recommendations, it was like gay romance, gay romance, gay romance, gay romance. It took me like 2 weeks to like watch Rambo, Terminator, all the like 80s action, like roided out dude movies that I could, just to shake the algorithm off my ass. So anyway, the point I'm getting at is that, algorithms have been around longer in our lives than AI has, at least from the consumer standpoint. You also have the way social media works. All those systems, especially like Facebook, where it would say, your friend did this and your friend did that. So, we've been stalked by algorithms for a lot longer than we realize. It's been a slow boil, but it's with AI, it's going to be on steroids. And that was kind of the point of that other video I talked about with the addiction, and how AI, is going to, companies without scruples will use AI to pull on people's addictions, and I think could very easily make minors more, vulnerable. So that's a concern of mine. And a lot of people don't talk about that. But anyway, great question, or just a great point. Thanks for coming out, Ben, by the way. Appreciate it. And I don't know what I said, but I got Lisa giggling. So let's see here. Oh, I think we have some more questions. I will summon the great oracle. This is wild, man. Just push a button. I was like, I've been toying with this for 2 days, and it's just wild. Because if you troubleshoot anything that's complex, doesn't have to be software code, could be plumbing, could be anything. You know how you'll have to like isolate sections of things, and this is the first time actually I think I've really like used this in the wild and just pushing buttons. All right, anyway, shut up, Jacob. Push the button. Sorry. Okay, will the sun turn dark this decade? Do you really want to know the answer to that? And is a decade really the right question or the right length of time? Let's see. Cannot predict now. Got the oracle brush off. What the heck? All right. You have any other questions, Lisa, that you want to put in there? Oh, here we go. Got with some more coming in. Yeah, I mean, we got to narrow this down. So, maybe Pennsylvania, we got 2 confirmations that it's going to happen. So, you got to take advantage of this now while it's up, So start thinking of some other, get a little more specific. Okay, but keep it clean. Keep it PG-13. All right. Let's see. This is cool. I love that you guys are getting into this. So what do you think so far of the Oracle? Is this just as like, this is just like a little teaser, of what I'm building, and it's gonna get bigger. This is gonna get way more insane, and this is just a tiny hair of what I have planned. So all right, so let's get back to the Oracle. Awesome. I'm glad you love it. Glad you love it. Okay. Question. Will AI be able to predict sports events? Well, you could. Sure. I mean, with enough data, if you got enough data, you could probably get pretty accurate. I know they've got AIs trading stocks. They won't tell you that, but definitely on cryptos. Oh, crypto is it moves way more algorithmically than stocks do, but yeah, you could do it. But let's see what the Oracle says. Sorry, you were asking. You don't care what I had to say about it. Oh, Ben, man, I don't know what it is with you and the Oracle, but I don't know. Ask it again. Ask it one more time. Let's see if it'll. It's just trying to maybe encourage you to ask the question maybe a slightly different way, or just, think more positive in your head. I don't know. But yeah, that's trippy. That's trippy. There's a video that I'm working on, kind of looking at this, how like, and it's totally random. There's nothing that like it's going, oh, well, Ben's asking, I'm gonna rip Ben some more. It's totally random, but there are people that are starting to ascribe two things to AI that's really worrying me. And I'm not sure how to talk about it in a video yet. But the one thing is people are starting to ascribe spirituality to AI, that there's a spiritual component to it. I don't have the complete description or the words for it, but the other thing is that some people just say it's a conduit to God, talking to God. And I think that this is just a natural reaction to something that's so new, so powerful, that it gives credence to Arthur C. Clarke, who, I'm not sure where he said this, if it was in one of his books, but he's the author of our 2001: A Space Odyssey. He also invented the telecommunications satellite. So, very smart man. Wrote a lot of very grounded science fiction. Another great book he wrote was Childhood's End, where aliens, they came to Earth and they emerged and they happened to look like demons and they gave a bunch of wisdom to men and improved mankind, all that stuff. It's kind of the same premise of 2001, where the monoliths were planted in Earth and they, kind of put thoughts and ideas into the simians that eventually, became men and all that in 2001. Anyway, my point is that Arthur C. Clarke said that any technology sufficiently advanced will appear magic to certain individuals. And I think that's what's happening with AI. A lot of people are ascribing, spiritual or mystical attributes to a program, right? But I guess as someone who works on putting these things out on the web and is designing infrastructure for them, and I understand like where they live and how they run, and that they're just basically a big software program that solves a massive data problem. That's really all AI is. It's just moving massive amounts of data very effectively, very efficiently. That's really all it is. But people that don't know any better, they'll think they ascribe those spiritual and godlike attributes to it. But I think we're gonna see more of that. But I don't know. It's just been like in the last couple of months, I've been seeing other AI influencers start talking like that, and I was surprised to hear it from people that actually I know are quite technical, and they know that it's software, but they're still having that it's having that effect on them. It's interesting. So I'm still kind of trying to figure out like if that's really a video that would be interesting to anybody, but it's something that's happening. Anyway, did I answer? Yes, I did. I answered this one. Let's see if Ben put it back in. Will I win the lottery? Now we're talking. Let's see. Survey says. Actually, I should programmatically do Family Feud, because that would be really easy, because you have like the red three strikes, and then you could have like different you know, people on the family that are AIs, or I could have all of you be on teams with that thing I was telling you about where I could push out the controls out to web browsers and then you could, you know, answer the questions. That would be fun. I don't know, that'd be something maybe you guys would be interested in. I could recreate Family Feud a little bit, but we'd have to call it something else because, you know, copyright. Okay, so not now, Homefront. But, you know, you have to play the lottery more than once to win, right? So there you go. Could be the one after this one. But kids, don't waste your money. That's all I'm saying. All right. Lisa, will I go to the moon with Batty? I don't know. Some people say I'm already on the moon. In my family. My little sister. Little shit. Okay. Okay. Doubtful. Okay. All right. What else do we have in here? Oh, we're all out of Oracle. Okay. So, I was thinking I wanted to show you guys something really cool that I've been using a lot more with ChatGPT around writing, playing with text. And this would be something that I could totally see people doing on the job. Just take a few minutes to do that, and feel free to, you know, still pop stuff into the Oracle. I'll leave it on. You can run in the background because I'm that good of a programmer. Okay. You can see what I'm doing, but I can't do what you're seeing. Yeah, okay, so, you know, no moon trip, but you didn't ask about Mars or Jupiter. Just saying. There's other celestial bodies, you know. Okay. So there's this really cool thing inside ChatGPT called a canvas. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to seed ChatGPT with like a little bit of text. So I'm just going to have it like write something really quick. And then I'm going to show you a really awesome way to edit it. And then and be able to like do all kinds of really cool things with it. So I'm just gonna say, you know, I want to write a short article on storing. And I know you guys aren't technical, but there's a purpose for this. You'll see. Actually, I don't want to do that. A short article on the problem of organizing data for AI in a large organization. And then I'm just going to give it like some, because I'm not even going to flesh out this article. That's the first thing. I'm going to have AI write a lot of this. It's cheating, but I'm trying to get to this like cool feature as fast as I can. Let's see. Departments silo their data and don't want to give access to it. 2, poor data entry practices, because you always got that one worker in customer support that just goes on the keyboard and doesn't put anything in there and then just jacks up the data. And then the third thing that's really common is that the AI teams underestimate how long it will take to clean and normalize data. I know this is a little techy, but trust me, you'll see where this is going, right? These are the 3 major points. Write an introduction and closing paragraph along with a paragraph for each of the 3 issues above. All right, so I'm just going to do that real quick. All right, and this is just to seed it. We're not even like, all right, cool. So it's writing the article, The Hidden Bottleneck, Organizing Data for AI and Large Organizations. Super boring. Who wants to read this crap? But anyway, my point is I just wanted to get some copy. Now check this shit out. Then I'm going to ask it to open it inside the canvas. Open this article in the canvas. So I'll just say open it in the canvas. It'll know what I mean. So there's this feature built in to ChatGPT. So it's a whole new window, right? And you can highlight a section, and then this little thing comes up, and then you put a prompt in and say, just as an example, turf wars is too strong, right? Just like that. And did I not push enter? Oh, there it goes. And it changed it. Data silos and departmental barriers, right? So you can go in and just edit little parts of it with that little prompt. So that's cool. Then the other thing I can do is in the larger prompt at the bottom, I could say, I want the tone of this article to be, let's see. I'm trying to figure out how to word this. To be not, this article, to not be too technical for CEOs, but technical enough to be interesting to CTOs. How about that shit, right? Just put that in there and it'll rewrite the whole damn thing inside the canvas, right? I won't read it, but I just as merely as a point of, you know, by the way, if you are watching this and you're not subscribed and you want to talk to the Oracle, you do need to be subscribed for at least 30 minutes. 30 minutes, because I do that to keep the trolls out. All right, so subscribe anyway. If you made it this far, you know you want to. Click it. So yeah, that's one of the cool things about this, is that you can have it change a tone. Then I can say, say you wanted to read this aloud as a speech, you could ask it to rewrite it so that you can speak it naturally. That's another gimmick you could do. The other thing is that I could say, check this article for accuracy, right? Just, you know, it wrote it itself, but sometimes AI hallucinates. And so you want to, you know, have it check. Didn't say anything. All right. So, all right. And then I can say, now add some statistics to back each of the three. Now you know why they're saying 90% of students have used AI in their studies and 40% have just used it to like completely do everything. I was reading an article where they were saying that they're bringing back the blue book, you know, the little compositional books, and they're making the students do all the work in the class now. Oh man. Let's see. Now add some statistics to back each of the three issues, right? Just you know, it's incredible how fast this is. So here you go. Here's one. According to an IDC survey, 80% of enterprise data. Now, again, I wrote this super fast. I don't even really know what this thing says, but I just wanted to, you know, open the canvas and show you can go in there and make a lot of, you know, changes. Even if like, cause I do this with my papers, I'll write sections and organize it how I want it, flesh out what I can flesh out. And then I feed it in and I say, okay, you know, help me check for accuracy. Did I miss something? And I actually put the assignment in where the teacher explained the assignment in a video, and I put the text in there, and I'll ask the AI, hey, did I, fulfill all the requirements of the assignment? All inside the Canvas. It's just something I wanted to show you real quick, and so I can do my, weekly AI webinar / here's a trick for you kids kind of thing. All right, back to some fun. Let's see if there's anything in the Oracle here. Oh, thanks, Lisa. I've had this old T-shirt for I don't know how long, but it's Yoda wearing sunglasses. I am working on T-shirts, by the way, on the stuff that I have back here. It's just, I squirreled and I made the Oracle. Sue me, right? But I'm doing as much as I can as one person, studying for a class and trying to find a job. Which, by the way, that interview, I don't think it's going to go anywhere. But, we'll keep going. Thank you, Lisa. I appreciate that. Okay, so let's see what we have in the Oracle. Oh, I guess you guys, I guess the novelty's over. So I don't know if you guys had any questions for me, but or any more questions for the Oracle. But this one's kind of short tonight, and I know y'all are probably got better things to do on such a beautiful weekend. But yeah, I just wanted to show you Canvas real quick. I wanted to debut the Oracle and tell you more about what my plans were for the games, AI games, and if there are any characters that maybe you want to see if I could recreate through AI. Of course, I'd have to rename them, but I know I've got the Night Owl has a request for Dr. Phil. So I am working on that. He's going to be one of the early characters that will have the voice, but I have to be careful because their likenesses are copywritten, so I have to make them recognizable enough, but different. But it's a fine line, so we'll see how it goes. Yeah, no worries, Ben. No worries. I just want to be open, for you guys if you have any questions or concerns about just AI in general in society. Some people ask me, is it going to wipe out my industry, or what should I be learning, all that kind of stuff. So all aside from all the dystopic fear mongering a lot of the channels are doing these days. But yeah, cool. I'm glad you love the novelty of the AI characters. So let me close out this article here. Hey, Gravedigger, thanks for coming out tonight. I was just getting ready to shift gears, but I don't know how long you've been watching the stream, but we have an AI character in the stream. If you want to ask the 8-ball a question, just a simple question, the commands in the banner down below, you just put question mark 8-ball space and then just a simple question, and the 8-ball Oracle will provide an answer. We've been getting all kinds of interesting stuff. We helped someone find out if they were going to find a man and get married, and someone if they're going to win the lottery, and whether the moon was going to crash into the earth. So it's run the whole gamut tonight. But thanks for coming out. I appreciate you checking us out tonight. But while we're doing that, I'm gonna pull something in. If you guys want to ask the Oracle one last time, I'm gonna pull in another video real quick. So forgive the dead air. Or I'll crank up the ambiance, the oracle, so you can hear where the oracle lives better. There you go. Yeah, I wanted to pull up this video of a robot. I'm starting to see a lot of stuff with weapons that are not making me feel so good. Yeah, here we go. And then there's one more. Okay, so here we go. So I want to show you these videos. All right, so you've seen these robot dogs that Boston Dynamics made, but somebody came up with the novel idea of putting a flamethrower on the damn thing. And you can see the little, see the little LiDAR on its head. And I turned the sound off because the copyright. Yeah, here we go. This is the part that just like crazy. I guess they could, I mean, the good use is this, they could use it to make fire breaks or to start, control burns. But we all know how these things go. Let me see if I can find the part where it goes off the chain. Yeah, here we go. This is what I want. Yeah, boom. That's some bullshit right there. Let me just, it's all, I'll get this side. Oh, and I'll get this side. Get the hell out of here with that jumping. Crazy. Okay, so that's a flamethrower. But check this out. This one I can turn the sound on.
Yeehaw. Your weapon, sir. Thank you, steward.
I don't know if the voices are added or not.
Fire in the hole. I'm alive. Awesome. Way to go. We did it, steward.
So, yeah. And that's just playing around. Who knows what the military has? Hey, Nado, what are you referring to? That's green screen tricks? By any chance? While you're answering that, I will pull up the Oracle. Oh, here we go. Oh, yeah, like how they made Star Wars. No, that's all. That's all in real life. Of course, after last couple weeks or a week ago with Google's new VO3, who knows what you can believe anymore. All right, so what we have, somebody asked the Oracle a question. What's the weight of a 50 tall person? On which planet, Rexus? Oh no, the Oracle might push back on you. Let's see what it says. Eventually. I don't think it understood the question. All right, so I think I'm gonna call it a night. Thanks everybody for coming out. I appreciate you helping me test the 8-ball. There's a lot more to come. I teased earlier another character. The next level to this is going to be so that, because the 8-ball was just a test to see if I could open up the chat so that you could interact with my software. And then I route that into an AI. So this happens to be an 8-ball that just has 20 questions. The next level is going to be a character that will be able to take more complicated questions, like, you know, how much would a 50-foot person actually weigh? I'm sure the Hale 9000 could answer that question, but not only will they answer that question directly from you putting it in, but it will speak the words in the character of or in the voice of that character. So that's the next level, and then after that I won't say much more, but there will be more AIs occurring at once. I'll just put it that way. But anyway, thanks everybody for coming out. I know this one was shorter, but it was a lot of prep to get the 8-ball going, so but I think it was worth it. I really appreciate you guys coming out. I enjoyed playing around with it, and I hope just this little taste is you know, kind of get you excited about what's coming. I know I've been talking about this for a long time, and yeah, just crazy that I actually got this all to work in 2.5 days, just working with AI alongside me. But anyway, thanks again for coming out, and until the next time, I will probably do only one video this week, because I think I'm going to take, in lieu of doing 2 videos a week like normal, I want to take that extra time to finish an assignment and turn it in, and also to work more on the next AI character. But we'll see how it goes Monday with my coding. But until the next one, thanks again for coming out, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Peace.